Okay, in a minute, you're going to see some blinking lights that are going to spell a letter, one letter at a time. Try to read what it's saying. You're going to get a bit of distance to make it easier. Don't worry if you miss the occasional letter, just try to get the overall picture. You might be seeing where this is going. The kids are playing Dark Souls together. So I'm working on a new version of my Morse code blinker. Oh, Jesus. So these are some widgets I made a couple of years ago now that have solar panel, supercapacitors and a little circuit board. You see a little LED blinking there, it's blinking out a Morse code message. So I made 8 or so of these, 8 or 10, I don't know, I've lost count. They've just been sitting out in the sun, blinking away. So they're great for what they are, but Morse code's a pain in the butt to read. Not many people can do it. So I want to make a new version of this that has longer messages and can be read by the layman, the layperson. That's what this is. So what we have here is a 3x5 grid of WS2812 LEDs. These are left over from my Christmas light project a few years back. And I'll just tape them or glue them to a bit of wood. And on the bottom, I've got one of the circuit boards from one of those in there, just powered off my benchtop supply. And I've got it blinking out this text. So I grabbed this font from Adafruit. It's a font specially made for 5x3 characters. And I have it blinking one character for 300 milliseconds, I think it is, with a 200 millisecond blacking interval and then another character. And I'm experimenting with different timings. Maybe I'll get around to trying some different fonts, and also want to try scrolling text across the display to see if that makes it easier to read. But I'm just sort of in the meddling stage to try to work out the best option. Now, I don't know about you, person watching this, but I found it easier to read when I was a bit further back from it. So I'm hoping that when I replicate this on one of those PCBs in a tiny little like 5mm grid, because I'll be using little 1mm or 1.3mm addressable LEDs to do the display, it'll be more legible. Because if you're very close, then what you see is a grid of dots, you don't see the letters. But when you're further away, or it's smaller, it's hard to understand sometimes, things further away are not necessarily smaller, that it becomes a bit easier to read. But yeah, there's a balance. It's a big old balance. The other thing I wanted to do was longer messages. So the microcontroller that's in here, it's a 802010, has got 1K of storage plus 32 bytes of RAM. That's it. That's all you get. So I'm thinking of putting in a little I2C EEPROM to hold the longer message and the font maps and stuff. And I'm also maybe thinking about I'll have a spare ADC pin and I can read the voltage and then tune the brightness of the LED based on how charged the batteries, how charged the capacitors are. That way I can have it blink for longer because it will blink less brightly when you've got more voltage. So it will have a less brightness at the start, but longer blink time over time. We'll see. But is it going well? And yeah, it'll be fun to make a version 3. Okay, bye.